So I just wanted to quickly kind of do, I know people typically refer to these videos as story times, but this is kind of like more so a chapter in a developing story. There's not really a conclusion to it. So anyways, so I've been at university for 3 years now. This is coming up on the end of my 3rd year, and I've always struggled with going to office hours. I know that seems like something really trivial, like, oh, like it's just going into an office and asking some questions, like how difficult can that be? But I don't know, I've always kind of prided myself on figuring things out on my own. Like even in high school, like I was kind of somebody people could usually ask questions to until about 10th grade, when my lack of asking questions actually caused me to be not such a great source for answers to other people, because I myself wasn't really solid in my understanding, so I didn't feel comfortable answering other people's questions. But I continued on like that for a couple years, and when I got to university, it didn't really improve. I still wasn't 100% comfortable asking for help. I think, yeah, my first year, I went to maybe 1 office hour the whole year. And I guess that might be pretty typical for most people, but for me it was kind of detrimental to my learning and understanding, and I really wish I had gone more, because in university everything it's so fast-paced that if you don't build a solid, kind of develop that solid base of understanding, your learning and understanding in the future is kind of really impacted by that. So the 2nd year was the same. I remember I went in though to contest one of my grades that I wasn't pleased with. I did get 1 extra %, so small victories, right? But it still wasn't really just to go in and ask for the sake of learning. It was more to ask for the sake of, contesting my grade, as I said before. Still, walking up the stairs, like, well, because most of the offices are up the stairs, so it gives me time to panic. And so by the time I would get to the top 2nd, 3rd flight of stairs, I'd be in full panic mode. My heart would be like racing, and my palms are all clammy, and mom's spaghetti. Anyways, but yeah, it wasn't great. And I would go into the office and I would just be really flustered, and I wouldn't really be able to kind of verbalize my questions, or just to kind of get my point across was really difficult for me. And I think what was going on is that I've always approached learning from a sense of deficiency, and a sense of inadequacy, and kind of just this overwhelming feeling of being embarrassed of asking for help, like there's something wrong with it. And that's definitely not the case. And coming into 3rd year, there was actually a course that I kind of ended up caring quite a bit about, and I think I'd like to pursue it in the future as well. But this course, it was just, it was instructed differently. There was a lot of opportunity for us to share our opinions and our thoughts, and kind of a lot of time to think and process, which I really appreciated. Not to downplay the positives of my other courses, which were excellent as well this year. All around, it was a really great year. And our professor encouraged us, and he made sure that we knew that we shouldn't go into office hours like feeling as though we're on a hot seat and expected to have all of these eloquent, perfectly worded answers, and I really did appreciate that. So going in the first time, I actually went in to ask about, what was it? Oh yeah, it was a project, and it was worth 40%, so kind of critical, right? And so I was like, I should probably go in and ask about this. So I went in and I tried my best to ask my questions, and I still didn't really get them out as well as I would have liked. And yeah, it didn't go as well as I would have hoped, and maybe it was just my lack of proper preparation and also my nerves. And of course, usually this is the point where I would go home and I would kind of tear apart the meeting and scrutinize and analyze my every move and every word and every action on my part, and be like, okay, this is enough, like I'm done with this, like I'm never going in again, because it was such a horrible experience. But this time I was kind of left wanting to understand more, and I felt like, you know, it's valuable to go in, because it, underneath it all, even underneath the awful tense silences and me forgetting the word critical and like the piddly things, right? Underneath it all, it was helpful, and it did help to guide my my ideas for my project. So I decided to go in the next week, and that time was better. I didn't go home and rehash the meeting, so step in the right direction, I guess. University is going to be different for everybody, and there's going to be parts of it that aren't comfortable and don't agree with you, and you don't really want to engage in them, but it is part of the experience, right? And so kind of just try to push yourself and try to develop your skills and allow yourself the opportunity to grow. Don't stunt yourself like I did for the first couple years of university, where, you know, I'm like, oh, it's horrible, I'm not going to do that again. Just move past that. Try your best to. I know it can be difficult. And just know that you're growing and you're learning and you're here to learn. That's the main point, right, of university. And so just to be patient with yourself, and yeah, just to know that you're not going to become a master overnight, right? I know that seems like something pretty reasonable, but I know it's easy to put a lot of pressure on yourself and to say, you know, why aren't I learning faster? Why don't I comprehend this big concept, or things like that. Like, just the amount of pressure we put on ourselves. And oh, also that's another reason, like, don't rationalize away your need for help for anything. Especially for me, I would say, like, you know, I can figure it out on my own. That was the biggest part. Or I would just say, like, this question isn't applicable or relevant or even intelligent enough to ask. And so it's really important to move past those little voices that kind of nitpick everything. And at the core, you're a student, and the faculty members in your faculty are there to help you to move from student to engineer, student to teacher, student to musician, and they're there to help you move out of this, like, kind of zone where you're in right now, where you don't know a whole lot and you're not 100% sure. And they want you to succeed, and they want you to move into a higher level of understanding and, you know, Bloom's taxonomy and everything. And they want you to move past those first few stages. Anyways, kind of a weird roundabout, not really quite a story, I would say, but just a little chronicle of my experiences over the past 3 years. And I sincerely hope for all of you, well, or any of you who, if anyone watches this, that you would not be me and allow yourself to move through these stages a little bit quicker, in order to learn quicker as well. Anyways, thank you for watching.